everybody, it's your girl Jane B, aka the CommonSenseDiva, and I'm here to review this week's episode of Insecure Season 4, Episode 7, Low-Key Trippin'. Now, before we even get started, I have to let you guys know that after this episode, it's official. I'm in love with Asian Bae, okay? Asian Bae had it going on from start to finish, and he now is my new guy, okay? So let's get going. So first and foremost, the episode starts off with Molly sitting in that Ethiopian restaurant, and it picks up where last week Issa was leaving, but Molly was in the restaurant wearing out the waitress, asking for a million things, and the waitress just walked away. She was like, no, you can't make up your mind, I'm gone. So she walks away, and then Molly turns around, and she sees Issa getting back in her car, and she was like, okay, here we go. So clearly, like I thought before, Molly actually went there wanting Issa to be there, because the thing is they are so full of pride, both of them. So they're not just gonna say, listen girl, we need to speak, because you see where that landed them, right? About to go to blows at the block party. But instead it's kind of like, well, let's just meet up in a place where I know she may come, and let's meet up, that kind of thing. And sure enough, that's what they did, and it backfired, because Issa was out and Molly was just left alone. Okay, so anyway, that was that. And now we see Andrew is in the apartment as Molly comes home, and Andrew is sitting there speaking Mandarin. I was just like, I like that. I just like the fact that we're just bringing all kind of elements into this show. We're just bringing, we just don't do black talk. We could do all other kind of talk too. We could do a little, a little Mandarin, little Spanish, whatever else we need to do, just to make this more cultural, aware, cultural rounded. And so I'm just loving that. So Andrew is speaking Mandarin. He's on the phone with his brother. They are clearly finishing up the plans for Mexico. And then Molly comes in, and the shade is all up in Molly. And Molly was like, yeah, I saw Issa today, but she ran away from me like it was a real job, like I was a real job. And I was like, that's so shady. Like Molly, she got a real job. Her real job is block party. Okay, block partying. That's her real job. So anyway, I just thought that was so shady. And so, so now they're packing for the trip and things of that nature. And while they're packing for the trip, Molly gets a text, I guess, that she has to come in, and she's instantly worn out. Like, oh my God, before our trip, I got to go into work. So, she goes in, and the first thing she does, she just bites off the head of the assistant. I believe her name was Karen. And she was like, why didn't I know about this? And Karen was like, oh, I'm sorry. It won't happen again, kind of thing. And Molly was like, rah, 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 but whatever. So, she got through it. Now she's on her way to the airport. And again, I just love how Andrew handles her. I love how Andrew, he loves Molly. As far as I know, I don't know if they dropped the L-bomb yet, but I feel like he loves her, and he's extremely patient, but he knows who he is, and this is how he deals with her. So, he was just like, come on, I'm here, I'm waiting for you, this, that, and the other. She gets up to the, the boarding, and then she sees, the one thing I did like is as soon as she got there, he was like, I thought you was going to miss it, and she was, explained to us why she was late. And then he just took her bag, and they just walked onto the plane together. And I just like that. That's point one for Asian Bae. Just the fact that, she got there, he just relieved her stress, took her bag, walked on in. See, this is what we like, right, ladies? This is what we like. We like when you just take over, just relieve our stress. And he took that bag and walked onto the plane. And honey, they was in economy. Let me walk my tea. Hold on. They was in economy plus. And Andrew said, oh, no, I know what I deserve on this economy plus. And he was like, I want this drink, that plastic, that blanket, the cheese dips. He wanted everything. And I was like, I know that's right. And then next thing you know, shout out to Issa Rae and the crew bringing in the 90s and the 80s stars, giving them new life. And so who is there but Kim Fields? I forget the name of the person. She was playing Martha or something like that. She was talking about, oh, yeah. I was married once, 25 years, married the wrong person. But this is day 3. And they were both like, okay, what's that about? But you could tell, that was all the, I'm trying to be big and bad, and I'm going away on my own, but I probably really do miss my man. So next thing you know, she storms off. And so now Molly and Andrew are talking, and they like, okay, so I got a surprise for you. And he's like, I got a surprise for you. And he's like, well, I can start my surprise now. And honey, he took a rewind. He went back to season 2 with Kelly getting fingered under the table. And then Andrew said, wait, I could do this too. And next thing you know, honey, folk getting fingered on planes. Listen, it is what it is. I'm not mad at them. Okay, so now they do their little tay-to-tay before they get there. And so now they show up to Mexico. The resort looks amazing. And now we have Victor, I believe, and Lydia. That was Andrew's brother. And they walk in, they start speaking their Mandarin. But wait, let's go back. But now Molly walks in and she's speaking Spanish. That's what I'm saying, the diversity. I like the diversity of the thing. And so then they're talking about fruit caviar. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, that don't even sound appetizing. But anyway, child. So now they meet the brother and the wife, and then the wife is gushing over Molly. You're so fabulous, this and that and the other. And so the brother already, you could tell he is Mr. Planner. He got all the plans ready. I mean, he is starting, like, soon as they got there, he's like, I got this, and this. And then going back to the plane, Molly was like, do you think when we get there, we could just relax and things like that? And then Andrew's like, well, okay, but, my brother did plan this. And so already Molly is like, because I'm starting to really see now, I'm really getting an in-depth look at Molly, because Molly is just like, we have a plan and you just coming in changing the plans. Like, could you go with the flow? Basically, it's like, that's what I was picking up. Can you go with the flow, Molly? So anyway, Molly gets there. And I said, Andrew, again, he's racking up all these points, because he was like, okay, well, let me appease her a little bit by let's start later. Let's not do all the early stuff. Let's start with the later stuff. And so, so it worked out. So he was like, okay, I'm here for my brother, but I'm here for you too, so I could appease the both of y'all. And he does it with such smooth elegance and grace. Okay. So then that was it. They go in the room. So now Molly pulls out her surprise, honey. Molly pulls out her saved and sanctified surprise. She pulled out the lotion. She pulled out the lingerie. And Andrew's like, oh, okay, that was it? Now, Andrew done been to the sex shop, because he's pulling out balls and he's pulling out all kinds of toys and trinkets and bullets and carry on. And Molly's like, I should have got that feather. So I was like, all right. Andrew was like, wait, I may have gotten the wrong memo, but honey, he was ready. So then, child, next thing you know, Molly walked over to him. She was like, what you want? And he was like, I want you to take control. And she was like, I want you to do me on the balcony. He was like, oh, you like public? And she was like, yes, honey, I guess I like public displays of stuff. And next thing you know, they was on the balcony getting it. And I was like, all right, for the other people looking over the balcony and getting a peep show. And they was doing their thing, and the hand was around the neck. And I was like, all right for the aggression. I'm just saying. So next thing you know, that was it. So clearly they didn't make the rest of the plans that the brother had. So then the next day they meet up and they about to go on a hike. And here comes Kim Field's character again. And you could just tell she trying to, like, I'm good. She trying to really convince herself that she's good. And she ain't good, child. She ain't good, but that's okay. So now they're going on this hike, and they hike up this mountain. I guess Molly was huffing and puffing. The brother and his wife seemed like they all in shape. So they're walking up the mountain. And then Molly's like, okay, but how we get down? Like, we got up here, but how we get down? And they did something that I haven't done, but I want to do. Y'all make sure, let me know if I got any lipstick on my teeth, okay? Because I got this burgundy on. I just want to make sure I don't have no teeth marks, okay? All right. So they were like, how we going to get down? And she was like, oh, we getting down by zip line. And I've never done that. And I was like, oh my God, that looks amazing. Like zipping down through the forest. Oh my God, that looks just amazing. And so she did it. So they all excited and this, that, and the other. And then now they go to dinner at night and shout out to the costume designer, because that dress that Molly had on, that yellow with the string situation and the flouncy flowiness to it, I was here for that dress. It was fabulous, and it was like a perfect vacation dress. So now Molly, they're there dancing, and I was like, wait. So Asian Bae not only know how to wobble, but he know how to salsa dance. So he's just a well-rounded man. And let's not even talk about the hair, because y'all know how much I love his hair, right? And so his hair is falling. His hair is falling while he's doing the salsa dance. His hair is falling while he's on the balcony. His hair is falling while he's fingering. I just love that. The fall. Yes, honey. So now they doing their thing. So they get back to the room, right? Y'all, I have a little bit of allergy, so my eye's itching a little bit. So if I scratch, that's what's going on. Child. So, okay. So now they get back to the room, they're talking about the day. And then Andrew sees that Nathan's been calling him, and then he calls him back. And while he's talking to him, you can hear Issa's voice in the background, and instantly Molly gets an attitude. She's like, yeah, she's still dealing with that nigga, whatever. And then, so Andrew had to say, well, he had his issues. And Molly was like, well, what issues? And she was like, his mental health. And then She was like, does Issa know about that? So you see, even though she trying to be mad at Issa and all this, you still see that she cares, because she was just like, does Issa know about that? And he was like, I don't know. So whatever. He said, but we're not here to talk about Issa. All right, so this is what I like. I know how he likes to pace it. He knows how to pace it and control it. Like, I'm not letting you go too far, because you're about to go into Issa and it's going to be a whole rant about Issa. And he's like, is Issa on this trip? I was like, all right. So, honey, next thing you know, they start getting it on. And then Molly went into the bathroom, honey. She came out with her saved and sanctified outfit. But that's where the saved and sanctification end, honey. She tied up Andrew. She had him back. She said she blindfolded him. And I was like, okay, this is where you get the 50 Shades of Molly. Because she was just like, this is what you going to do. I'm going to sit on your face. Honey, she sat on his face. As Funky Dineva said, she pulled his panty to the side and he slid through, honey, with his mouth. She was like, okay, this is what you're going to do to me? And I was like, y'all really getting it in this episode. Y'all not playing this episode. So that was the end of that. Next thing you know, it's the next day. So now they in the pool. So now they relaxing. They in the pool. They talking. They kikiing. And somebody splashed Lydia's eye. And Molly was like, I will go and get a towel, right? So now it was a white couple in front of her. They got their towels. Molly walked up as they was getting their towels and they walked away. So Molly was like, can I get a towel? So, Molly got like that low-key demanding. She got that demanding kind of almost like entitled kind of attitude about her, because she was just like, well, can I have my towels? Now listen, y'all, anybody who travels, have been to resorts, cruises, or anything like that where towels are involved, 9 times out of 10 they are going to ask you for a room key or some kind of something in order for you to get your towels. And I'm sure Molly has traveled enough that she knows that this is what happens, and she instantly went to, well, why do white people get theirs? Now, listen, I'm all for, calling things as it is. But I was like, in that case, I was like, no. I said, I don't think that was a racial thing in that case. Because the lady was like, I don't know what you're trying to accuse me of. But, Molly was in her bag. So then the brother comes, Victor. The brother's like, here's my room key. Whatever. They go back in the pool. And then so Molly gets this attitude. Andrew's like very in tune. He's like, all right, so what's going on? And then Molly was just like, this is it. And there's, it's a touch of racism, this, that, and the other. And so then the brother jumps in. And the brother to me is like a reflection of Molly, because the brother is like a Molly, just, Andrew's brother is just like a reflection. And he was just like, you sure that's what they meant? He just immediately went in, and they were going back and forth. And she was just like, well, yeah. And then he was like, on one hand, I get what he was trying to do. I guess, like, why don't you look at it from this end? But then he wasn't validating her at all. And that's where the pistation came in. Because Molly was like, well, first and foremost, like, this is what I see. And you talking about you guys are marginalized when, they went in. And then Andrew was like, I don't think like that. And then she said, you're different. Don't we hate when people say that? We hate when people say, but you're not like the others. You're different. And Andrew's like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, shoot. So that kind of let you feel like, okay, where's this about to go? Because now we done already got it in our head that Andrew may lose Molly at any moment with her acting up. So I'm like, oh, shoot. She was like, F you and get your brother, Andrew. But the thing I like about Andrew, is why he's racking up all these points, is because he kind of went in on his brother. He didn't let it slide. And next thing you know, that was it. They went in that bed. 50 Shades was over because they wasn't even talking at this point. They was totally separate. And then Molly got up, and in true Molly fashion, because the way Molly do it is like, I'm mad at you. We ain't talking. And this is that and the other. So when she woke up and she saw that bed was empty, I know she was like, oh, shoot, it's true. I lost my man. It's true. I lost my man. But honey, because Andrew ain't like her. Andrew came in. He was like, I'll let you sleep. Come on, Andrew. Andrew was like, I want you to get your mind right. So he said, I'll let you sleep. Andrew came in with gifts. He came in with an olive branch. He had those drinks. They started sipping on those drinks. And then Molly immediately, she was like, well, wait a minute. Did I mess things up with your brother? And Andrew was just like, no. I talked to him. We worked it out. And you good. Like, he understands, and he apologized. And to me, that conversation was the crux of the entire episode. Conflict resolution, because that right there showed us this is how it's handled. It got escalated when you effing my brother, don't even know him, you saying F you, and you taking it to the highest of the heights, right? And it could have went there, and Andrew just knew how to deflate the situation. He spoke to his brother. He made sure everything was good, and then he came back to Molly saying, no, it's good. We good. And then he was like, he even went further and said, listen, do you want to go for a massage or whatever you want to do, have a quiet day. And she was like, is your brother going? And he was like, no, they doing their own thing. So I guess Andrew said, listen, today we're going to separate. We need to separate a little bit because I don't want round two. And then they did their own thing. And honey, I guess at that moment, the revelations happened. The skies opened up. The light came through. And Molly was like, it's me. She was like, this is really me. I'm the one bugging out. Next thing you know, she was like, ring. Dr. Rhonda, I need an appointment ASAP. Okay. She booked that appointment. She left that message, and we just hoping she get that appointment. And next thing you know, they are back in LA. They are at LAX airport, and they're getting their things. And next thing you know, we see Martha Kim Field's character. Y'all burst up, whatever her name is, child. She was with who looked like her man Herman, or what I think his name was Herman, and they was kissing and carrying on. I said, see, you thought you was gonna leave your man and you was big in bed, but you missed that man. That's why they was carrying on over there by the luggage pickup. And next thing you know, we see Lawrence. And I was surprised at that. I was not expecting to see Lawrence. So that was a total surprise. And FYI, I wasn't crazy about his haircut. It looked like a bowl cut to me. I'm so much more used to now the high top with the sponge curls. But, it was okay. Lawrence is still a good looking dude. But I mean, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that haircut, but it is what it is. And, he and Molly had their little awkward exchange. And when Molly was like, this is my boyfriend, I know Lawrence was like, boyfriend? You got a boyfriend? Like, because I'm sure Lawrence ain't never known Molly to have a boyfriend. But, honey, Molly's like, this is my man. This is my man, Andrew. And they did their little exchange, whatever. And next thing you know, Lawrence is walking out the door. And he was like, ring. He was like, I want to see you. You want to meet for drinks? I was thinking about you, whatever. But we don't know who it is. Because, Insecure got a way of tricking us. We don't know if it was Issa, Consola, or a new girl. We don't know. But we'll see. Now, the upcoming episodes, they let us see he was in the restaurant with Issa. But, that could be fantasy. We don't know yet. So we got to wait and see, for the next episode. But this episode was excellent. It was excellent metaphors. It was excellent conversations. I mean, it was 50 Shades of Molly all day. They went in on this episode, and I was here for every last morsel of it. Okay? So, guys, that's it. That's the review, and I'm so glad you stayed with me to watch this review. And if you like what I'm doing, if you like what I got to say, if you like this lipstick, this hair, this eyeshadow, and these lashes, definitely subscribe to my page so you can know, and hit the notification bell so you can know when I'm doing, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, okay? And definitely share if you care. And until the next time, bye.